So right now, I'm in a building here in San Francisco, and there's about over 50 founders that are building stuff that you probably won't see hit mainstream for about 2 more years. And I've got one of them. His name is Adam, and he's building the web browser of the future on iOS. And it probably won't be landing for another like couple of years, but we're going to get an inside look, and maybe even some folks are going to get to play around with it and get early access. So Adam, I'm super excited to have you on the show. I'm here in Founders Inc. in the middle of nowhere in San Francisco in this crazy building. A lot of people are just up all day, up all night, and I'm really excited to have you on the show. In this show, we're going to learn a lot about where AI is going, what's happening with the web browser space on iOS. Does it even exist? How has Apple been building for 17 years and not been able to innovate per se with AI? What Adam is doing in this space to kind of transform things and then maybe bring some of the things into the actual future and see if we can actually get our hands on this software and get you early access. As a person who's able to watch this live stream, you're going to get inside access and an inside look of people who are building here in San Francisco live. And Adam, I'm really excited to have you on the show. And I want to get people to see what you've been working on here at Founders Inc. so that people can start like cooking and doing some really cool stuff. So yeah, show us what you got, where you're working.
I'm super excited as well. So thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Let's jump straight in and show you the app. It will be live, and if you're following and like commenting, I'm happy to send you a TestFlight so you can start playing it later today after this stream.
Sweet.
It will not become mainstream probably like in a year, 2 years, but people on X, people in Teapot will just be able to know what's up and what's happening and feel the future.
That's amazing.
So what is an AI browser? So an AI browser is basically trying to take the existing browser experience that we are all familiar with and try to rethink how this should look like in the age of AI. Okay, like we saw that happening with Cursor. We kind of like took the existing experience of IDEs and basically injected AI bottom up in many different ways, and they slowly going up the stack of automation, like Patis mentioned, of how you can control how much automation you want to bring to the AI to complete tasks on your behalf.
Wow.
And this is how we think about the browser. We want the AI to enhance and to work with the individual, with the person, with the user, and the user can just choose how much automation it needs at any given moment. So we basically have three main features. One is OneTap Autocomplete,
Whoa.
where over time the AI kind of like learns about you, about your past, about like the things that you filled online, who you are. You will see in a second that we also give it a Twitter account, so it actually see how I write, how I communicate, and as you browse, it will start giving you suggestions to what to do on the browser. So if you're filling up a form, after like a day or two of using the browser, it will know how to fill stuff for you automatically. You just need to like OneTap Autocomplete.
Dude, I want to give my grandparents this because I can't tell you how many times I've had to walk them through filling out a form and like the autocomplete and everything like that. And I'm really curious because, Apple's been doing this stuff for 17 years ago, the iPhone was introduced. And now like how has this not been in the latest release of iOS? And so you're tackling this problem, and I want to see some more as far as kind of what you got going on. What else can it do?
Yeah, 100%. On that specifically, so one of the greatest features Apple ever released is that feature where it automatically extracts the code that you get from SMS and gives you the autocomplete. This is like one of the most favorite features I think Apple has made, and we're basically making that, but for the entire internet and for everything.
That's crazy.
So I'm really excited about OneTap Autocomplete. The other one is AI chat with your open tabs. So instead of, if you've used AI on your phones and you did some research, try to read articles and ask questions about the article, or even compare things between things that you are reading, it is terrible experience.
Right.
At times, copy things from back and forth is actually not that easy. So in this case, you just use your browser as usual, and you can just swipe up on the browser, and it will already see your current browser. So you can ask your current tab, so you can ask a question about it. But you can also pull other tabs that you have open into the conversation and just have a chat that has context. But because context is key.
Yes.
AI and having useful AI assistants and features and products and whatnot, they need to have context. And we believe that browser is a great intersection of user and their digital existence.
That's amazing. Yeah, show me more. I want to see what else you guys can do. Like, So we got chat with browsers, we got this like autocomplete things, and now you have an agentic takeover.
Yep. So as I said, like it's all about the scale of automation. So you can like just be on like decide what like just browse by yourself, have autocomplete, and now we have agentic takeover as well, where you can tell an agent to complete the task end to end, and it will just go and do that. It started because internally in our team we're trying to do some consumer, and for consumer we need to warm up. Sadly, we need to warm up many social accounts on TikTok and Instagram. So it's other, maybe we can just make an AI do that for us. So this is the example that you see right here. It just
wait, hold up. I think you're giving away too much secret sauce here. So for those who are tuning in, you can use this app from Adam, and it can actually help you browse the internet, and you can be the marketing bro if you want to and create all these accounts like he's saying and do that type of stuff to get some attention. But really what I'm thinking about are like my elderly friends, right? They're in their like 60s, 70s, 80s, and they are always hitting me up. Like I'm basically the genius bar for them, right? They're like the tech support. And so if I could just yell at your browser and it's going to take you through to, fill out the form for the DMV, make the reservations for you, or, do something on the browser. That is super big unlock, and it's actually a really amazing use case for AI. And so for those who are just tuning in right now, basically we're getting an inside look of this browser that has AI in it. And this is built by Adam here at Founders Inc. And so we're kind of walking through a little bit of the features, and we're going to get to see a little bit of kind of what's going on. And for those who are really wanting to test, make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to have a link so that you can get into the TestFlight and how to get those little bit details locked in. So we're currently live on X, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch, we're live on LinkedIn. And so make sure you reply, and we're going to be looking through those comments for you. So feel free to obviously hit the thumbs up and do all that cool stuff. And yeah, I'm here in Founders Inc. There's a whole bunch of people in here. And dude, let's just keep cooking, man. You're absolutely.
As I said, like there are so many different use cases that you can take the agentic takeover or the OneTap Autocomplete. This is like one of the use cases that we needed early on. And yeah, it's like voice commands, so you can actually, it's quite cool. You can actually speak, and the AI interact with your browser as you speak. There are things to improve, obviously, but I think it's already more smarter than Apple Intelligence.
That's amazing.
That's pretty good.
Whoa.
And then the last step of the onboarding is just putting your details. So it will create a profile about me, again, how I write, how I communicate. Because by the end of the day, if you have AI that help you autocomplete tasks on the internet, even do things end to end completely, it needs to know who are they doing it on behalf of who they are doing this, right? Because you write tweets very different than I do,
right? Yeah.
And this is actually a concept called we have the name is still like we need to decide the exact name, but we call it the agentic constitutions.
Okay.
Where it's basically the let's see, I think that's not the right agentic constitution, but basically it's the agreement between you and your agent, your AI, on how it should interact, how it should communicate.
Wow.
And this is how it looks like from within.
Mm-hmm.
If you start browsing, where should we go?
Yeah, we can just go to, I don't know,
anything. Let's go Wikipedia.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do Wikipedia. Wiki. I'm doing it with one hand.
Okay. It has the link up there,
yeah. So again, it looks like a regular browser, but anywhere you at, you can, let's find a specific interesting article. What we want to learn about.
We can learn about Fort Mason.
Fort Mason. Oh, right. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
That's where we're at right now.
Mason.
Yeah.
So you can read it, or you can just, 1 second. Oh, we have some bugs. Here we go. This is the best for the demo.
Yeah. This is a live stream, folks. You know, this is what I'm saying. Like when we go live here, that's why I wanted to actually show up in this place. It's, every time you see these like pre-recorded demos and stuff, everything's all super polished and everything. And like the whole thing about my show and what I like to do is I like to meet founders where they're at. And I'm trying to do more of these, by the way. So if you're a founder, if you're doing some really cool stuff and you're in the Bay Area, or if you're in somewhere in Hawaii, like let's link up, because I think this is going to be really cool. This is what I want to do. There's so many people building right here, right behind me. There's like, 50 plus people. There's a couple floors here. They actually have another building that does all hardware. None of this stuff is sponsored. I'm just trying to get access to these people and understand what is happening in this AI space. This is, always latest and breaking. And if you're watching this, you're pretty much all in. Big shout outs to Ray, who's currently watching here as well.
Yo.
Giza as well. We also have some other folks who are members who are popping in the stream. Definitely appreciate y'all for showing up. Hey, fam. Ray is always cooking in the show, for sure. Yes. Yeah, man.
So basically, coming back to the demo, now it's working. You can just, everyone on the internet, just swipe up.
Okay.
And one second. Okay, by the way, this is the autocomplete suggestion. It just tells me open up the search input. It's just irrelevant, so we close the suggestion.
Okay.
But you can swipe up and have the AI there, and you can ask summarize this. And we're going to make it even easier, like with some existing, like, summarizing is something that you want to use often. So
yes.
not, and it will start. I didn't need to do anything. It already knows I'm looking at the Fort Mason, and it just pull up all the information.
Wow.
If we had another tab open.
Okay. Can you do YouTube transcripts and stuff?
Yeah.
No way, bro.
So that's the cool part. So you can actually be on YouTube and open it like halfway through.
What?
And while you're watching, you can ask questions, like kind of like watch with the AI, and it will have the context of the existing, like 1 minute before, 1 minute after. So like you can like, what Ray just said, is this correct? Can you double check? Can you fact check Ray or Adam on the stuff?
No
so that's pretty
way.
Cool.
That's super handy.
Yep.
So like you're talking about AI integration all over the place, like in every way possible. To me, that seems like super intelligent because, I mean, I don't know if I used to work on operating systems and stuff, at Apple, and a lot of this stuff is pretty like it's baked into the OS, and so in order for you to do these types of features, especially with Siri, you see how long it takes for them to get all the Siri stuff kind of working, and it's not really working in all the different places because it can go wrong in so many different places, obviously. And, I don't work there anymore, but I was just kind of commenting and thinking about this. Like, one, how did you even get this feature working, for the AI stuff? Because there's a lot of different places that you have to hook into the operating system, and kind of what's your background? Tell me a little bit more about what you've been building, how long you've been building, and kind of getting into this space.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually built adjacent stuff, similar stuff for a very long time. I previously built Suna, which is an open source version of Manus, which is quite big, where we had to do similar challenges regarding DOM interaction and extracting data from the web and making an AI act on that browser data.
Wow.
Before that, I was part of OMI, a wearable device, where the relevancy there is those systems are as good as the context that you give them, right? And if you have a system that kind of like try to learn about you as the user over a long period of time, you need to find a smart way to manage the context, to bring the right context in the right time. So I kind of like been in this space for a very long time. I would say specifically with that more than 2 years for sure.
Yes.
Even before that.
Yeah.
And I think why we are kind of like lucky in that space compared to Apple is that we don't need to be Apple. We have like our beta testers that have a lot of willingness to accept bugs, to accept half-baked features. But with that being said, we're already doing way more than Apple is doing in that space.
That's right. Yeah, because for the web browser, like the Safari thing was announced with the iPhone, over 17 years ago, I think 2007 or something like that. And so it's just amazing where we are at today. And you're like, it's been this many years. How has the browser just not been able to do more things for us as users? I want, now that the AI wave is here, like I was hoping with this intelligence system that I would be able to tie everything together in my livelihood. So I want to ask you a little bit more questions, like show me more about this browser thing that you got going on, and like what other features can we leverage that maybe we're not thinking about yet? Because I mean, it sounds like once you have a powerful thing like this, I use it a lot for research, but the Agentic Takeover thing is really interesting. How do you kind of work with those types of things, and what other features should people be looking for if they're doing some beta testing on this app?
So ideally, like the reason the browser is interesting is because it can be the superpower app. You can actually open your Gmail through that, Twitter. Right now, it's a completely fresh new install, so I'm not logged into anything. But once you logged in, obviously once, let's see. Let's see what you try to do. Let's see if you try to log me in. Let's see. Okay, just now. We had a bug in the loading it, so it did not get my right information. But once you have that, you can. I think that obviously the basics is like summarizing, help you write things, like reply to emails, again without seamlessly. The idea is to. I really like what Cursor did with the ID. They didn't try to build a whole new workflow for you to operate. Unlike, for example, Devin. So Devin took the top-bottom approach. They were like, okay, let's build this completely new software engineering end-to-end to give it the tasks and it completed. Where Cursor took the bottom-up approach. They were like, okay, let's work with the software engineers. Let's try to enhance them. And over time, let's build more and more features and reshape how their workflow works.
Got it.
The way I would wish people would use it, and obviously like give us feedback afterwards, is first of all, take all of your existing browser experience and move to Dafdef, to our browser.
Yeah.
And start like,
yeah.
How do you get it?
How do we get it? Yes. How do we actually, how would people, if we're interested in trying out, how would they be able to get this?
Yeah, I would go over every single comment on the stream afterwards and literally just drop you a test flight to test it out. If you are willing to be as part of the beta test group where we milk for feedback and bug requests. No, I'm joking. It's not that harsh.
So yeah, you basically have to show up. Is it also available on Android as well?
Right now, it's not on Android. It's only on iOS, but we will get there eventually.
Okay. I also have some people who are in the Discord, like Odell. He says, I'll need that link for sure. This is dope. I'm glad to be able to tune in today. If I'm correct, this is a browser that incorporates agentic features and automation based on your behavior. That is correct. Yes. Yep. And so it sounds like from the very beginning, like it can autocomplete the forms for you. The second part, which is really interesting, if you're into marketing, I know there's people who are trying to create accounts and do browser automation. So apparently you can just give it instructions to the AI and it'll open up the browsers for you. It'll tap through the things. And I don't know if you know this, but if you're using your phone, it has a unique key and has everything. So like whenever you're signing up for things, it's like, hey, this is a real device. This has a real SIM card, has a real activity. And so it's nice for if you're actually doing browser automations. And so you kind of have like a browser automation built into this whole app on top of that. So you can imagine all the use cases. And this is really early prototypey stuff. So mind you, this is not like final product ready to go for like my grandma or anything. But if you're watching this show, and more than likely you're someone who's building, who's really interested in AI, who's like interested in the frontier, we are like bleeding edge of this stuff. And the feedback for Adam and their team, I think the team is you and
we are 4 people now.
Okay, 4 people. Okay. Yeah, it's a small group of folks. They're going to keep iterating on this and you get to try it out basically for free, which is really nice. I need a whisper flow for this kind of integrated just to speak, and it tweets for me.
So that's an actually interesting part. So yeah. What I like about this, sometimes with the Agentic Takeover, I will tell the AI to just keep scroll. Like I will open Twitter and keep scrolling and just read tweets after tweet. And we actually have a funny video that we're going to make.
What?
You remember the meme of the guy that over optimized his morning routine with the bowl full of ice?
Oh yeah, the guy who he has the blue
yeah. So we want to do a video like this where part of the morning routine is it tells its AI to scroll through Twitter and do brain rot for him.
Oh my god, bro, that's so wild. That'd be so amazing. Yeah. I'd love to test that. I'm a heavy Comet user on my personal and business device. Ooh, okay, that'd be super awesome. Yeah,
let's go competition.
Yeah, let's go. Is the browser based on Chrome or Firefox or something? I would think it's WebKit, right? Because everything on Safari's or everything on iOS is WebKit based. Right?
Yep. Okay. On iOS, you have to use Apple WebKit, but it's pretty good. It's really easy to use. Even Chromium is WebKit.
Just between you and I, WebKit is way better. Like I'm telling you, like straight up. You get a lot of power efficiencies. I mean, from an operating system level, it may not be the best developer experience if you're trying to develop apps on top of it. But I'm telling you from like the utilization from the iPhone side of like what it's doing in the hardware, side by side. If you're running Chrome in iOS, you're still technically using WebKit.
Yep. I have a on and off relationship with Apple. I love a lot of their stuff, and obviously, if you don't see, but I have an iPhone, I have a MacBook, I have an AirPods. I'm an Apple boy, but also have a lot of disagreement with Apple. Yep. So if you see some part of my messaging is around building a new type of Apple, this is some semi-anti-Apple.
Yeah. It totally new to iOS also, yeah. Okay, yeah, for sure. Yo, Ray, dope stuff. Looking to test this out for sure. Fatty Hustle, I got you, fam. Yeah, so definitely drop the comments in the live stream or in the comments below. If you're in the Discord, definitely drop in and let me know. And then I'll get Adam in there, and he'll be sending out TestFlight links to everyone, especially trying to get to try this out, because I think this is going to be really cool stuff. And we'd love to see more. I don't know if you want to sign. I don't have your credentials up, so that way you can sign in or do whatever you want.
No, it
okay.
just a completely new device. So
I see. Yeah, because I'm not trying to expose his keys, but basically for those who are just tuning in right now, we're live here in San Francisco, and this building that I'm in is called Founders Inc. Founders Inc. is like an incubator for all these folks in San Francisco who are trying to have their crazy ideas, and they basically can get funded for their early stage ideas before anyone really gives them funding. And so this is their opportunity to basically build all day, build all night, whatever. They have 24-hour access to this building. They get fed as well. There's a lot of cool amenities. They get basically mentorship from folks who are here who have shipped their stuff, and it's basically an early stage incubator. So it's before like raising a big Series A round is kind of like the place where people come here. And so for me, it feels like this is like the early stage of when maybe computers were invented. You know, I always read about that stuff where people talk about YouTube being invented in a garage, right? Where all these founders were in Menlo Park hanging out. Now that's basically exploded, and with AI and in San Francisco, on top of other places. People like Adam have come from other places in the world. I think he comes from Israel. Yep. And has flown down. There's other founders who've come from all the different parts of the US, all parts of the world, and they're here building their dreams. And it's basically all or nothing, right? It's all in, locked in, bro, like the whole meme culture, but like it's actually happening here. And my mission, because I really love building with these technologies, and I'm really excited that now that I no longer work for a corporation, I basically now can explore this AI space on my own. I get to meet cool people like this and have these types of conversations. And so I want to bring you into my conversations, and this is part of that. And so this is the live stream thing. If you're totally interested, definitely subscribe. I'm currently live on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything that we got. Yeah, Twitter. We got Discord. Not Discord. We're also live on.
Where else can you be live on?
I'm basically everywhere, right? So I want to do more of these things. Definitely hit the likes, share this with your friends, you know, to encourage them, type of thing. If they're really into early technology, I like to meet these types of people. If you are a builder yourself as well, hit me up, and I want to try to see if I can meet up and like do these types of streams in these different spaces, because I feel like we need to, you know. We're post-pandemic, you know. I love Zoom or whatever that other stuff is, but I feel like in person is just more raw, it's more real. And you're seeing, like, we're watching this stream live, right? We're literally watching everything, all the failures, and this is just part of building software, you know. You watch my live streams, you see me build for hours. I think that the whole process of talking to people, and this is something I'm extremely passionate about. So I'm really thankful that, number one, y'all are able to lock in with me, and number two, that everyone's kind of here with me. So big shout outs to Diedrich Reed as well, and we also got I would like to try it out for sure. We got Foul Reaper. We also got Mike Bird in the building. Hello, how's it going, Mike? And
Mike,
yeah. Justin, are you coming to Honolulu Tech Week? I will be in Honolulu September 1st, so I'll be there for September, October. For October, I'm coming back for a week here to San Francisco. I'll be right in this area because I'll be at the Dev Day, right, pretty much just in the next building over. So we'll be kind of hanging out. So Twitch and Rumble. I need to get on Rumble for sure. That'd be pretty fire.
I never heard of Rumble.
Rumble is another platform that people stream in and like post in. And so it's, similar to X, but it's, it has its own type of thing. What's your experience getting to something like Founders Inc.? Any advice?
First of all, I will highly recommend. Mostly, I would say the best advice in this case is to go on Twitter and start building things in public on Twitter. Doesn't have to be big projects. Just small projects that you think that are relevant. Can be like weekend projects where you upload it on as like a 1-minute video. You do it over a long period of time, and you will start building your network. Some of them will DM you, invite you to places. This is how I got to Founders Inc. in the first place. Or just building like I was actually building the AI wearable. Yes. I posted it on Twitter. It blew up, and it brought me to visit SF and to Founders Inc.
That's right.
So that's the best advice I can give. But it takes time. I remember when I just joined Twitter early on.
Yeah.
I was basically DMing everyone I could to try like to get attention from them, but no one replied to me because I had like 0 followers and like
it looked like a scam. Yeah.
But again, like over time you just build stuff and people start seeing that and like, oh, this is a cool guy. Let's follow him. And one of my best friends I've actually met through Twitter. I met you through Twitter as well.
Exactly.
I think
he met me when I had 2,000 followers, like barely, like just getting started on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2,000 is a lot, but now we have 25K, so you go crazily, which is insane.
It's fun. And I think, yeah, that's probably the best way. I think from what I've been learning and talking to other folks around here too, it sounds like a lot of conversations are about not only what product you can build, but this new era is about what type of attention you can get on social media, what type of community can you build? Are people going to show up for your product and give you feedback? Because in these early stage products, as we see, these demos are super raw. So, like you got to get some people who are interested, trying out the product, and technically everyone on X and these people who are building also want to try the product too. And they could be the next insight to your next bigger idea or your next pivot, right? And it's a really long road, but I don't know. This is what I live for. I love people who build stuff. This is like the best time to be alive because you get to build your ideas, and then if you don't have to find teams of people or pay a lot of people, like you just talk to an AI, you find other people, you move to SF, you be around, like just people are around this. The energy here is just buzzing. You can see people running back and forth in the background. And I'm just really delighted to have y'all here. This is just really fire. Big shout out to Aqua Wolf. Sounds dope. I got to try this out. Yeah, Aqua Wolf. We're going to have some links in the Discord as well. Got to create some social proof as well. Yeah, I mean, just start building, start posting. And then if you're in the Discord, hit me up. Like I've been checking out some cool projects that people are building. Yep. I actually want to do something too, where I highlight some of my Discord members. So if you want to check that out, that's something I'm going to be doing because I feel like it's just really important for us to come together as a community to share. Like, what are you building? What are you working on? Share your stack. You attract others too. And that's just what I've always been about since the very beginning. It's like, I like things. I just retweet them, whatever. It doesn't matter who they are. I'm not like the Instagram squares, like every single post has to look all perfect. It's like, dude, just get it out there.
If you see my post, I'm trying many different stuff, but a few days ago I uploaded a video where it's a woman saying, men with no hose, where are you? And then it's like a cut to me demo in my video. I'm just like trying many random shit. I think that's the Twitter vibes. And I will also say on that is, don't try to hit up obviously do that as well, right. But don't try to hit up like only people that has like 1 million followers or even like 100K followers. Try to find people of same stage as you, like they have like 100 followers and they're just building cool shit. Yeah. And over time, never know. I mean, over time they will grow big like you, which is again insane.
It's cool. Yeah, just be around really cool people. I mean, we got some cool people here already in the community, so definitely share across. If you got any more cool stuff to demo, I'd love to see.
Yeah, the Agentic Takeover is a bit broken, unfortunately. Okay. So we'll have a follow up after this with it's working. But right now we can.
Cool. Yeah. So that's just the real reality. So for the folks who want to try out this, basically it's the agentic browser that you can use on your phone. It's still pretty raw. The feedback is super duper necessary here. And so drop your comment, drop your link. He's going to try to get back to you. If you're in the Discord, we're going to get you hooked up as well to get the TestFlight link to go try it out. And so in essence, you can pull up the web browser, you can swipe from the bottom and just talk to an AI like, hey, tell me more about this. Or if you're watching a YouTube video, like what's the transcript? Start asking some questions, especially if you're learning super important. If you have lots of tabs open, which I know I do because I'm researching restaurants or whatever, it can start to kind of take over and you can start asking some questions about your workspace and what you're doing, Sarah.
I mean, we can say this is pretty cool. You can do.
Should I switch over?
Yeah. Let's switch over.
Okay.
So I logged into my Twitter account.
Okay.
And again, it's a completely new account, so it doesn't know too much about me. But basically, as I scroll, it will start giving me suggestions. It does know about Adam and my Twitter. So if I go to like Barry, which is a really cool person, let's see what it would suggest doing. Let's see.
Oh, so those little pop-ups are from your app. It pops up right underneath saying,
click the reply button. So, okay, I didn't click the reply. It clicked the reply. I mean, I told it to do it, but it clicked it. Oh. And now I think it will suggest to reply something. Let's see.
Oh, so your AI is actually currently working right now.
Yeah. And, here we go. Fill the reply text area with great idea. Thank you. Ah, fuck.
It's okay.
I think, by the way, I think it's broken because it's a simulator, not
Yeah.
not an actual phone.
Yes.
But
Yeah, and we're running the whole live stream. We're like throwing everything in the kitchen sink on this, and so yeah. By the way, yeah, that's a simulator. It's being streamed over to my device and so forth, and there's obviously a little bit of issues, but I mean that's okay. I feel like this is kind of part of the process, and that's how you know that this is really real, and this is just how I roll anyways. Like just finding and talking to real things and real people, keeping it real with y'all. And I don't know, I'm more excited about that I'm here in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Just get to like actually kind of hang out with you. So we've been wanting to do a stream like this. So I want to talk to you a little bit more. Let's kind of pivot and talk about like AI and in terms of like where the space is going, because everyone's talking about AI taking people's jobs. Like, it's going to take over my web browser. Is like people are very fearful. I have a different take on it. Would just love to hear where you're coming from, how this technology is evolving, and how you're seeing the space.
So I'm extremely optimistic. I'm all for human first, kind of like building these technologies and whatnot. That's why we also try to be in the browsers with the user rather than like separate to it. We think this is where like the agentic value will be created. I think, especially after GPT-5 came out, for me at least, it was a big realization that I think I felt it before, but that kind of like was the last stroke to convince me that, okay, AGI, super intelligence and whatnot, it might come in some form or another, but personally, I think capitalism, free markets, innovation, humans creation, it's still very, very relevant.
Yes.
With that being said, I think we should change the way we interact with technology and browsers. There is no reason to keep using the phone the same old way we used to for the past 20 years with the browsers. I've been using IDEs for almost 20 years, and I would never think I will change the way I use IDEs, but Cursor and others convinced me otherwise because the value I got out of it is insane.
That's right.
I was paying $0 for an IDE for 20 years. Now I'm paying $1,200.
You're editing text. What's the deal, right?
Yeah. And I do think I do feel for a lot of like the fear again around AI. I'm actually, because we doing consumer, I'm spending a lot of time on TikTok and Instagram outside of the Twitter bubble, and I see the big backlash that even Mr. Beast got from releasing his AI thumbnails and Duolingo, big backlash that integrating AI into their systems. And I think it actually comes from the way a lot of the big companies are building these products, and from the 2010s of how the big previous tech transition happened with big tech, big data, I don't know, like surveillance and whatnot. Yeah. And I think there is a big opportunity here to actually build a brand that is trying to do it bottom up, underdog, find a way to build trust with the user and to tell them, hey, we are building this for you, with you, for you to be 10x, 100x better.
Amazing.
And I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, and I'm kind of glad to hear that you're about this vibe, because sometimes it feels that these people are trying to like take over everything, and to me, realistically, I think we're very far away from all that to happen. So I mean, since we're here in Founders Inc. and you're building with AI directly, and you're pretty much on the ground floor, like actually using the APIs, using these language models and interacting, what do you feel is your timeline for like things to be like even more automated than they are today? Because I feel like there's these stages of things that we're in, and the browser is one of them where you're kind of already seeing, it's almost like you're building Frankenstein, right? Yeah. So you're making something come to life, and you're kind of seeing it, and you're like, oh, well, what's next, right?
I think automations will come very, very soon at large scale, whether it is digital automation or physical automations, for sure. But I don't think it will result with humans out of the economy and are irrelevant. I think what will happen is we will just be those overlords who are using these tools to do way more, way fast, test ideas out. A lot of people talk about it on Twitter, but the age of agency and autonomy is become like actually just deciding to take action and start using these tools to build stuff that the best thing you can do, instead of worrying about it replacing me.
Right.
I think, and I've been saying it for a long time, and I'm on camera right now, so I'm actually, this might be clipped out in the future of like how I was completely wrong.
Whoa.
But I've been saying I have an essay from almost probably 3 years ago on how this is not the end of software engineering. It's just a new layer of abstraction. I think we will write a lot of software in the future. A lot of the software will be written by AI, with AI. I think we might end up in a place where, what I'm not sure about is if we are going to see many more very big pure software companies, but like Uber and others, but we will see, in my opinion, many small businesses building with software. So you will have easy like 1, 2, 3 mil ARR, kind of like small business. It's big business.
That's you.
But it's not like a venture backed.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like this idea of these smaller businesses because I'm seeing this just in my niche little app, right? I just thought, I need transcriptions for my YouTube videos because I want them to be, like I like the little thing at the bottom, but I also want to be ranked, with YouTube. And then that kind of turned into like adding timestamps. And then when someone just hit me up and said, hey, guess whose videos are being recommended in ChatGPT now with GPT-5? It's like your video's coming up number one. I was like, bro, by accident, right? And so that's what's happening. It's like now I probably unlocked a whole new business that I didn't really realize existed, but there is a need, right, to making this workflow to actually work super simple. So now I'm kind of rushing to make sure I get the feature shipped out, get some customers in, and grow that thing so that can actually be something that be self-sustainable. No, like, it's not the next Uber, it's not the next McDonald's, it's not the next whatever, but it has a big impact, right? People are going to want to be seen by these language models. There's few gateways to get in, and they need lots of data. And if you're a podcaster, if you're a person who does video, you have lots of data, you have lots of speeches, you need to post them somewhere so that these AI models can start crunching on that data.
Yeah.
And then
if you go to my website, by the way, I have a message for the future AI agents overloads at the bottom, written with white text on a white background, so humans cannot see that. But it's basically my backup plan of if I'm completely wrong and AI is going to take over. No, I'm joking. I'm completely joking.
That's funny. That's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is someone say. I saw someone say that if you have a product that serves a real purpose and it isn't an indie hacking tech space, for the love of God, don't share it on X. I rock with that. Hence why I haven't started. I don't know. I feel like you got to share your products because the problem is sometimes that like you just got to make more people aware. And I think like this tool that I'm talking about, even for my own transcriptions, other 10, 20, 30 people are going to build it, and they're going to build it their own way. Maybe they'll copy other people, but it's just really the vibe of the people you serve. And to me, I used to work in customer service. I used to, go to people's houses and fix their computers, and people would drive across the town 30 minutes to go talk to my manager and say, Ray was incredible. Like, he just listened to my problems and like actually solved them. I've had 3 people out here. And so if you're that dedicated to your customers and making sure that they're taken care of, it's like family. Everyone feels it, right? So that's the only thing that AIs can't do right now, is they can't actually capture feelings. You can't reproduce, feelings in that way.
I would say just on the competition stuff that I feel you. I mean, I've had many projects out there. I'm a big open source advocate that people have used, have taken, nothing negatively, but I can feel the pain. I would say the benefit that you get from doing it out there and actually getting it in front of people, real people who follow your journey over time, is, in my opinion, it's bigger than the risk of people stealing your ideas or even your code. That's right. 1. And 2, most competitions is irrelevant because they will just die out because they don't really care for that. I was on the other end of things. I competed with people that I didn't really care for the space, and over time I just left it to be, and they took it because they actually wanted to be in that space. They've been thinking about it for a very long time.
Wow.
So even if there is competition coming up, wait for 3-4 months. Are they still there? If not, all good. If yes, okay, they are a competition. And
that's really good. What's the name of the tool that you have that's called?
It's called Dafdef, which means in Hebrew basically mean browse.
Yes.
It's dafdef.com.
Okay.
And
spell it?
DAFDEF. And we're going to have a new website live. So if you go to the website right now, it's a bit shitty.
Okay.
A few people on TikTok actually trashed on me. And I was like,
I can see that for sure. What model will it be using, and will it also be preset, or do we got options to select?
so right now we are switching between the Gemini models and Sonnet, so Anthropic, and we will allow to change the default, but in advanced settings, because I think most people would not really care about the models. Only like tech savvy, probably Twitter people would want to.
Oh, right. Yeah. Is it iOS only, or what about Mac OS?
So we technically do work on macOS too, but right now our main focus is on iOS, because our goal is to build like this agentic tool that can help you do stuff automatically, whether it is the autocomplete or agentic takeover. And the mobile is perfect for this, because this is when you want to when you are using your mobile device, you are on the go, driving and whatnot. This is where you want to kind of give AI things to do.
Got it.
But we get to desktop as well.
It also since people want the desktop version, because it's like they enjoy having it on the desktop. Yeah, makes sense. No, totally. Yeah, I think it sounds like it's just kind of coming as far as the roadmap.
Available. So it is available now. We have a closed beta people that are using it, giving us feedback very, very closely.
Cool.
And I'm happy to give it to more people if they're willing to give us feedback. And we're probably going to become general availability in a month or less.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. That's awesome. I'm launching here soon. B2B marketplace, but compelled to start sharing the journey now. Yeah, share early. You'll actually be very surprised who's actually watching in terms of early stage venture firms. People are in this AI space are funding earlier. They're some of them are like taking bigger risks because they have less to lose in some ways, right? They have a lot of money and they can take so many shots on goal, because it just takes one. And it's not billions, they're talking trillions, so it's like there's all these different risk profiles and all these different, because AI is going to impact so many different spaces, from like actual robotics to biology to science, and whatever projects that you're working on, can raise a lot of interest right now. And I would just say, put it out there, get people to start using it. I think the biggest thing is just getting users to actually use your products and give you that feedback is a huge thing. So I think that's the first step in the door. If you don't have users yet, make sure you kind of figure out how to get them, whether it's coming online, posting it on Discords or whatever you can to talk to people and get your first customers, and just share your wins. Like small little stuff, right? Are super helpful. And you'll be surprised how other people share it.
And I would say also share your challenges, even though, so I share a lot of things, up and downs, and it actually played against me many times, but I don't care. Because I do get more value. I will share like challenges that we are having with Apple. Sometimes we have some fight with Apple, and I was actually just sharing an issue that we had with Apple, which by the way we completely fixed now. Nice. And then investors calling me like, "Hey, what's up? Like, is it like what's going on? Is it okay? Are you able to stay in business?" And like, it was like, should I invest? Should I not? Like, man, we are here to figure this out on the long term.
Right.
Those small bumps, this is part of the play. And I think a lot of people just do enjoy this journey, and this is how you build a good audience, people who care for what you're going through.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So you've been building for years. For those who don't know, Adam basically was on the first wave of the early AI wearables like several years ago. And so a lot of that technology that started to come out was people like, hey, I can record my conversations and then turn it into a thing where you can actually get some insights from it. You're tinkering a lot with hardware. So tell me, how did you get into like the hardware space and that tinkering? Like, because there were other people trying to get into this space. They eventually ended up taking your technology and incorporating into their things and making it open source, right?
Yeah, so it was open source, and it is open source, so I'm all for it. And I'm working with Nick a lot with Omni-based hardware.
The Omni wearable, yes.
Yeah, so...
And then what about that friend wearable? Is it the same technology? Yeah.
I mean, Avi is a great guy as well. I'm sometimes in between because I'm friend with both.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's like you're that step parent who's in the between. You're like...
But I was not involved with friend. It's completely Avi's.
Okay, got it.
And I just like this. I like YouTube and learning stuff, so I just bought a bunch of hardware things. I've never done this before.
Okay.
Start playing with Raspberry Pi and then some ESP32.
Wow.
And I had some ideas, and eventually I just decided to build this.
Oh.
And open source it.
Okay.
The reason I open source it, and it's also somewhat related to what we're trying to do right now with the Dafdef company, is as these tools become more relevant and have more context about us and just become much more omnipresent in our lives, I have a great fear that. So my fear is actually not from AI overloads; it's actually from a totalitarian regime, kind of taking advantage of that.
Wow.
So I wanted to have this open source wearable device out there, so people can actually own their own data and not be. So we will not go through the same issues we had in the 2010s.
Wow.
And we will incorporate that into Dafdef too. So we're looking on solutions called PDS, which is personal data storage, where we will start. Where you start using our app, we will store this data. But at any time, you will be able to take it out and still have a functioning product.
Wow.
By also owning your data.
Wow. That's amazing, because a lot of companies right now are just sucking the data away from you, and they're just like, good luck. You can't even leave our platform, right? Because we have all your memories. You can't transport them somewhere else. Like, I think that's the biggest feature sometimes that's keeping me around for some products, is just like their agentic memories that I can just recall, because I've already invested so much into all these queries I've been giving it. And, you know, without it, I kind of feel like the drug dealer just took away my drugs.
Exactly. So the challenge there is, because we want to build a big business, a big company. And the challenge there is most people don't care about that.
I see.
Unfortunately, people on Twitter do care about it.
Yeah.
But my bet on the future is that it will change, and we will see more mainstream people care about it. It will probably not be named as owning your data, but it will be in kind of like an underlying feeling of, I want to trust this brand because X and Y, because they allow us to do that in the future. One of the power of open source, people will think like, oh, why would you do open source? Like, enterprise can host it themselves and not pay you. And most of the time it doesn't happen this way. Open source is a way to communicate trust. So I, for example, love using Superbase, not because I self-host it, but because I know it's open source and I can always self-host it if I need to, and I can always kind of like monitor their code and make sure we are aligned on what this thing is. You know?
That's really, really cool. Big shout outs to Viz Live Studio, who just said they got their first Mac OS 10 or Mac OS approved yesterday. So it feels good. Yeah, congratulations, man. Just getting any app approved is always like kind of tough. So to be able to make it through, I think that's a really big congratulations. Yeah.
Congrats. It's Apple gatekeeping the internet. So
yeah, I mean, let's kind of go into that. Like, why? I mean, the browser, you have to install it on a phone, so you have to go through. Why didn't you not just release on Android?
Yeah, I use iPhone. So I'm maybe I'm a bit hypocritical here, but I use iPhones. I think it's great. I think the hardware and the integration with the software is amazing.
It's a very popular phone. A billion plus devices, I think. It's crazy.
Yeah, more than a billion devices. I think most people in the US are using it. We will get to Android as well, but I don't want to build a big and sustainable business. So I think we definitely need to be on iOS, and I think it would be more valuable to start. I think it's more valuable to start there.
If you come to Silicon Valley, every phone you see popped up around you is just iPhone everywhere. It's crazy.
And MacBooks. Like growing up in Israel, no one had MacBooks. It's insane, and Americans are just hooked up to Apple's MacBooks. It's a great device. Don't get me wrong, but in Israel, like maybe one out of 10 or 15 people would have a MacBook. Here is like 10 out of 10.
Wow. Yeah, once you try it, you can't go back.
That's true.
It's so good. Do y'all have any questions? Like, let us know. If you're trying to get into the actual test flight, just drop the comment. Adam will try to see if he can hit you up or hit you on the DMs. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can't really do that, but just drop something. See if you can join the Discord. We got you there on the Discord. We'll be giving some invite links. You also can check out the website, Dafdef, is what it is?
Yep. Check it in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I will make the new version live because right now it's a really big website. But we're working on something very, very
Dafdef, and you'll be able to kind of check out his agentic browser, which can do some automations where you can actually use the AI inside of the browser. And this is like the first big step of many. Here at Founders Inc., there's a lot of people who are building in this AI space. They're doing cool stuff even with robotics and stuff. There's a whole different building with that. You may have seen something called like the toys, those magical toys, those little things that people are talking about. That was birthed here. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's happening, and I'm just so happy to just be able to talk to you, pull one founder into this whole thing. I'm trying to do this thing where I'm just kind of showing up in public spaces, in these different, where people are actually building their stuff, because we're in this post-pandemic world. People are back into building, but they're taking on this biggest wave that we've ever seen here in humanity. And I get to unlock it, and I get to take you here with me live. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're doing this live, and I'm just so happy to have a community of people who are really passionate around, having you around. So yeah, 100%. This is awesome, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Authenticity is key, is real. But even simply just browser-based and Scrapey Barra implementation on WebKit makes it very usul. I have a feature request that other agentic browsers lack. Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Send me a feature request, 100%.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
If people love it, we will just implement it probably within like a few weeks. So
Yeah, that's another thing too. When you get early access to these types of prototype software, you're actually also helping shaping the future of the world, because you have your own use cases, and that can feed back into these systems to obviously make it better. So since you're talking about owning the data, are you also looking into running local LLMs?
So first of all, I actually built something called the Arc, which is an offline AI device to running local LLMs in a case of a doomsday, World War III, or if you go hiking and you don't have access to the internet, essentially. So I'm big on this space. Right now, the frontier LLMs, open source LLMs, are not the best at browser use. We actually built something called local browser use 2 weeks ago in a hackathon, where we'll be using Qwen32 as well as OpenAI latest open source model to have the most simple. I can show it.
Okay. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, let me get that.
Let's see if I can I share my entire screen?
There's possible. I may have to set it up in a different way.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So I can send a link to that too. But basically, there is a benchmark called Web Voyager, where the frontier LLMs, the proprietary models, achieve around 90%.
Wow.
And we were able to achieve, again, within like 3 hours hackathon, more than 50%. So I think with a tough focus of like a month, we can probably get up to like 80-90%, and then it will be feasible to transition to open source and give an option to other people to self-host this. But right now, just like the value that you get from proprietary models is dramatically better.
Yeah, Mike was talking about tuning the models and these things. Obviously, with a hackathon, you don't have that time because you only have 3 hours to build something.
Yeah.
But that's a possibility in the future. And I also think like it's a matter of priorities, right? If you feel like this is something you're passionate about, I mean, just from your background, it sounds just like go build it, right? You may strike that thing that just kind of makes you wake up every day and you never stop working on it. And that's probably what you're going to be hoping for, because you can find people who are also passionate about it. By you talking about it out loud, you're going to bring those people in, right? And so they're in my Discord, they're on my X profiles, as I retweet stuff, connect with those people too, right? A lot of people you see I retweet are small builders, maybe under 100 followers. There's some crazy designers that I find that have like 30 followers or something. And it's like, this guy had like 300 followers and he designed an amazing operating system. He's a designer, like no one knew about him. I was like, I like to retweet it because the X algo will show me more people who are that small, who are just absolutely cracked. And the X algo is actually really good. So if you interact with those types of small accounts and repost them and things like that, you see more of them. So that's kind of my gateway in to see, who's building some of the cool stuff. And I get to meet really cool people. So it's like, it's the best way.
I would just drop, I love it so much, like the smaller builders. I would just like drop DMs to every cool person I see.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo,
yeah,
bro, love this, let's chat, or send me more stuff.
Always
I'm happy to
DMs.
send you.
I think that's a big deal too. If you're building, just send the DMs. Like if you think they're too big or what, just send the DM. You never know. Just be authentic though.
Yeah.
Don't be like trying to pitch them. Just be like, hey, I love what you're doing. I love this latest feature you released and I'm excited to play with it. Or I've been using this, here's some feedback. I can't tell you how useful that is, because you're launching into almost like it's a friend and you're continuing a conversation. I get so many DMs from people that just literally just go right into a pitch. Like they're thinking like they're just driving by, dropping off their thing and leaving. It's like, bro, imagine how it would make me feel if I just came by your house and just said, here's a bunch of poop. Can you go ahead and clean it up? And let me just, I'll meet you on the other side. And you're like, bro, I'm not supposed to pick up your stuff. and like clean up for you, bro. Like,
Also making it like the most short message ever, like one line, that's usually like higher response rate, I would say. Then like sometimes even I called email and called them many big people as well, and if I try to explain everything up front with like this long paragraph of like, oh, I need them to understand this, so I have to write this so they will reply to me.
Right.
They never reply. But if I
Right.
just like write one message, one line that is very kind of like intriguing enough, there is higher chance of replying. So.
Exactly. Yeah, because a lot of times I'm just reading through, and it's just like if I see this big paragraph, sometimes if I have time, I'll be courteous and say, "Can you just give me the TLDR? How would you tell this to your grandma in like one sentence? You know, like literally, like what is this product?" Because I'm not trying to scroll for 5 to 10 minutes through your like landing page and trying to sign up, because I just don't have that type of time. And so I just need to know like, what is it? What's the impact? What's happening? You know, what is it going to help? How are you going to help me save time to understand like what you're doing? Because I am interested in stuff in the AI space. And I feel like we should all, you should kind of like have that type of etiquette and that type of thinking for other people. So yeah.
There are 340 people out. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to keep growing. So this is pretty cool. Can you guide me on what stack to learn and master from scratch following current trends? Bro, like
generally like any software product?
I don't know, like J35, like stack to learn, start from scratch, current trends. I mean, React right now is really huge, right? So TypeScript is amazing. The language models are really good at it. If you're picking up Claude Code, you can turn it into a mode to actually help you teach you for the outputs. So you don't have to have Claude Code code for you everything. You can actually have it output so that it actually kind of teaches you while you go along the way. Because TypeScript is extremely popular on GitHub, all of the actual like AI SDKs and everything are all linked with TypeScript, so you can't go wrong with it. And then the second part of it is like with TypeScript, you can build the front end, you can build the back end. So, I mean, there you go. You already have like a MVP ready to go. And most of these app builders use, React with TypeScript of some sort so that, they can build their apps and everything. And so if you're able to kind of wrap your head around that language, you're going to go very, very far, right? If you're into like language model training, I would suggest, taking up Python. So if you want to like fine tune models, really get into the weeds of like how the actual language models are built and like in the research sense, these PhD levels, that's a whole different route and a whole different profession that can take like 10 plus years to master, really. Because these people who are getting paid $1 billion have spent, several decades in this space.
I would add on that like a lot of people that I speak with are surprised of how I deploy stuff to production. It's the most, at least early on, like with every early product, it will be the most simple. Like my most of the backends I'm writing is like a Python file with Fast API that's running on an EC2 without any fancy scalability. With like I will literally every time I need to update the backend, I will SSH into the machine, do git pull, and restart the service.
Yeah,
that's all. Same with I mean, it was not always the good. Like when we launched Suna, we actually deleted the entire backend after like 3 hours after the launch. So we had like 8K users completely deleted, which was very painful. But don't try to over optimize things. Just if it works, that's fine. And if you get into issues of scalability, that's a good thing, and you will figure this out then. But I remember when I was trying to build apps early on, the first kind of like big backend stuff I did, I was trying to like implement Redis and have workers, different AC2s and like interconnected and like whatnot. And I was just like, I read so many articles on how to do it right and how to like how to do it production ready.
I gotta set up a Kafka queue and like set up scalability.
And it just feels it's very overwhelming.
Trust. Yeah, I had the same like anxiety because I'm like, dude, I just left this mega corporation and how do people build out here? I'm gonna have to use PHP. Like, what is Ruby on Rails? Like, I don't know what people are using, right? So, and that's actually where I floated into TypeScript. I was like, oh, this is actually really nice. And the ergonomics are really nice, and then all the developer tools and things. And so, yeah, I've just been kind of going on my own journey, and then Cursor came along and then like flipped the whole game upside down. I just like, you'll see a live stream for me literally a year ago, right around this time. This is actually how my accounts all blew up. Some girl 8-year-old girl, I think her dad works at Cloudflare. She made the chat with Harry Potter app using Cursor. that went viral online. And so people went to search Cursor on YouTube, and there's like no content of making apps. And I've been doing live streams for the last month, making apps from like July to August using Cursor. And I was blown away of like even just V0 to make an app. And so that's kind of where, like, in one day, my account went from 100 followers or subscribers on YouTube to like thousands, like watch hours, when everything went kind of crazy. And it was like a 2-hour live stream where just like shocked in 5 minutes how we built an app. And that's why I knew, I was like, oh, this revolution is actually here and it's going super fast. It's really, really insane. And yeah, it's basically what we're doing now. And so you get to see me meet founders. I think it's really important that, like, I'm really happy that everyone's able to come into the live stream today, kind of hang out with us here in San Francisco, here in Founders Inc. And I'm going to definitely have some more interviews and stuff scheduled, and would love to hear more about what you guys are building, what's going on with you guys, what stage of things are you at. If you want to test out Adam's app, we're going to have some more information. I'll also have some more information on the description below, so you can check things out. Where else can people find you?
Mostly on Twitter. ADAM COHEN HILLEL on Twitter. Feel free to DM me. My DMs are open for everyone. And if it's a good message and not too long, I will definitely reply and try to be the best person I can to push that. If you build cool stuff, just send me the link, and if it's really cool, I'll probably just repost it. And I would love to speak with people who are excited about what we are building. If they have ideas, want to test it out, just send them to me. I would love to chat. So.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is like the second camera that we got going on here. So you can see our space. This is kind of our little setup here. We got our laptops here on the floor. We got the building back here, and it's kind of like
we have some cool stuff. We have this.
Yeah. He has like a whole iMac thing. Dude, this is crazy.
The reason I like this so much is because they build this technology in a way that is kind of like, human first.
I don't know if they can hear you too well. Yeah.
The reason it's really cool is because Apple built this technology in a way that is kind of like human first. You can literally throw it out of the window and it will break with this handle. And maybe we should do that for AI agents that do automations on our behalf as well.
Yeah, maybe we should kind of like throw it out the window and stuff.
Throw it out your phone.
Yeah, so no, I appreciate everyone who's been kind of popping on the stream. Already joined the wait list. Looking forward to it. Hey, how's it going, man? That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm currently making an AI consulting services, and I'm using AI tools to work every day for sure. Foul Reaper also dropped the Claude Code status line. I posted it on X. He's the one who actually made that whole Zelda theme, if you're looking at it. So you can turn your Claude Code into a whole Zelda theme, and that's thanks to Foul Reaper here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. You can get the Triforce thing going on, and it's pretty awesome. We were just kind of talking about it on stream the other day. Yeah.
But what we try to do with the company as well is to be kind of like the most agentic company ever. So we will have our Slack, and we will pump up automations and simple automations. It doesn't have to be agentic stuff, but just trying to incorporate as many workflows. And we have a workflow that kind of like fetch all of my tweets and try to make a TikTok video out of them, and more random stuff.
That's pretty awesome. So thank you so much for joining in. Make sure you smash the little likey things, and we're going to do these like dances and stuff. This is live. We're live here in San Francisco, Founders Inc. in San Francisco.
Come to you by Celsius. No,
yeah, right. Yeah. If you want to sponsor the stream, please feel free to drop a dime on me.
They know.
Throw me a bag. Yeah. What's up?
I was just saying never mind. I will say it afterwards.
Okay.
Jason Levine did Celsius Fahrenheit.
Oh.
Which was a funny
a drink.
skit.
Wow.
So I might push him to give you a sponsorship.
Wait. So is that guy? You guys do the skits in here? That guy that does the things where he's yelling at people?
It's a different Jason. But same vibe of Jason. They're both very, very funny. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then what about that vibe coder guy who I think is Lynette something? Yeah, I'm getting. He wears the glasses and he's like, I like to vibe code every day. He's kind of speaking in the
here.
I don't know if I thought it was here. Maybe some people from here were in this thing, but yeah, I don't know. We'll find out some more soon, because that'd be really cool if we kind of I'd love to do more skits. Actually, it'd be kind of fun to do some skits.
I was in some of the skits. My hands are famous with Jason skits. Joking.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, this is the vibe here in San Francisco. Coming to you live Ray Fernando 1337. Make sure you guys stay locked in, and I will have some more live streams later this week. We're going to be building a lot of stuff's been going on in this space. Cloud Code has been secretly dropping all kinds of sauce on everyone, and people have been loving all the latest updates. Cursor's dropping some stuff, GPT-5, cooking with the hotness, and there's just a lot going on in the space, and I'm really happy that everyone's able to join the community. If you haven't had a chance, there's some links to the Discord to join in below. It's just $14.99. You can get in right now before we get 200 people, and then the price is just going to go ahead and double from there. So big shout outs to the people who've been able to get in. It's all automated now through Polar, so you can just log in and you'll be able to get access. You don't have to wait for me to get off the stream to get you into the Discord. So a lot of folks who are building there. Good place to talk and share some vibes, and this is kind of what I'm trying to do here. And thank you so much for joining the stream, and I'll see you guys in the next stream.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you. I appreciate it.
Peace out.